Hello, this is me, Nicholas, also known as Franz the Executioner. So in this video, I'm going to be explaining the unfortunate dark truths about Goodwill thrift stores. And I don't think they're good at all. They should be called Greedwill thrift stores because they are being greedy. They are being unfair to people. They are doing unethical things and taking advantage of people who think their items are going to people in need, when in reality, they're not. They're not. So first thing I'm going to tell you is I had a friend, right? I know somebody, I'll keep them anonymous. Keep the location of the store, everything anonymous, but it's going to be a basic telling you the story. This is true. This is what happened to someone I know, and it was not right. So this friend I had worked at a Goodwill store, right? They had a disability, and Goodwill hires people with disabilities. They take pride in that. I wouldn't trust it, honestly, because they underpay them tremendously. And this is what I'm going to get to. They don't typically care about the people that they're hiring. They hire people with disabilities. My friend was hired, and she was used for cheap labor because she had a disability. They were only paid 30-something cents an hour. That is nothing substantial. That is a disgusting act for someone to take and hire someone with a disability, make it seem like a regular job, and not pay them fairly. That's not okay. And this person ended up leaving, and I don't blame them. Honestly, it's disgusting. I felt so bad for my friend, and they had a terrible experience. I will put it that way. That's just one of the unethical things Goodwill does. Also, typically people think that when they donate to Goodwill, that the items are going to go to people who are low income or people who need them, or people who don't have a lot of money and just might want something nice for their home or their wardrobe or whatever. That's not the case. Goodwill, if they get any donations that are somewhat of any value, no matter what they are, it could be something that in retail value is worth 30 bucks. They will price it for like 50 bucks or more or whatever. It's not for low-income people. So do not donate to them, because they're just taking advantage of people who are donating to them. And most things that are of any sort of significance or an actual good item, they auction it off on their website. They don't sell jewelry anymore at all on their website. They auction it off. They auction off most significant or good quality clothing on their website, shoes, anything of any value or quality. They look it up, of course, and just see a number and then try to auction it off for an outrageous price for what it even is to begin with on their website. It's just morally disgusting. So the whole concept of the thrift shop in general, Goodwill is not portraying that. They're not following that. They don't care. The other thing I'm gonna point out, that most of the stuff that isn't sold goes to a warehouse, and it's sold in what's called the bins, the blue bins, and people can buy whatever they want by the pound. It's still expensive for what the concept is. But if stuff is not sold by a certain period of time, it's thrown out in a landfill. Think about that. When so many people might need plates, might need clothing, might need silverware or furniture or whatever the item is, they're throwing it in a landfill just because they didn't get money for themselves. They're not good. They're bad. They're Badwill. And it's disgusting. And I'm telling you this because I know this stuff happens. I know someone who worked there. And I used to shop there a long time ago when the prices were reasonable, like an average thrift shop. But it's not anymore. And Goodwill needs a shutdown for what they're doing and how self-centered they're being. They don't deserve to be in business. But I'm also going to tell you, a Goodwill employee or someone at the higher ups did get an interview and say that they're trying to up their prices to deter resellers. So, to be honest, I don't like resellers either. I don't like what they do. A lot of times they do push people around in thrift shops and just buy things and see a price tag instead of just thinking, oh, another person might actually genuinely enjoy something. And yeah, I don't like that concept either. But to up the prices for everyone and mess over so many people that do shop at thrift shops and probably are more of a percentage of lower income people that go to thrift shops than even resellers. It's just not right. It's just not right. So honestly, Goodwill is a terrible company. They hide unethical practices. They lie to people. They think that messing over everyone is the option to deter a very small percentage of people. And I'm going to tell you, it's not right. And I don't know what is going through those people's heads. Because the true meaning of a thrift shop is for lower income people to get things that they need or that they enjoy for a low price so they can afford something nice. And it brings genuine joy as a lower income person to have something nice for a price I could afford. I have much more respect for companies that think about the lower income people and don't price gouge than companies that are selfish, greedy, and don't care. I will not shop at places that are greedy and don't care. I do tell people to their face if they're doing something like that, because it is wrong. It is wrong. Because everyone's struggling these days. But moral of the story, don't shop at Goodwill. Do not donate to them because they're taking advantage of you and of people who are donating. You don't want that stuff to go to a landfill. Donate it to the VA vets. Donate it to your church or a church charity shop or donate it to a homeless shelter. Donate it to somewhere where they're actually going to use those items for good purposes and not for crappy purposes that are self-centered. So just think about that, and I hope people see this and start donating their goods to better organizations and better companies and better places that are actually out to help the people. Like, subscribe, leave a nice comment, and have a wonderful day, everyone. Peace.